Hello everyone, today I'm going to look at some coins that I purchased from a foreign coin dealer at a recent small town coin show. This dealer had both a 5 for $1 bin and some carded coins. Most of the carded coins are going to appear in an upcoming video, but we're going to look at the 5 for $1 bin coins, and then we'll get to a small number of these in this video. But let me dump out. I only got 10 coins from him, but I thought they were quite interesting. I've been through his bin before, and he didn't really have a lot to add from last time. So here is what we have. Let me zoom in a little bit more, and we're going to start with this coin from Singapore. For those of you who love animals on coins, this one is going to be good for you. At the time, a lot of the Singapore coins looked like this, where it just had the date, the Singapore on the left, and the denomination in the middle. But on the back here, we have an egret, which if you've never seen an egret, I guess that's a kind of a shore or wading bird. The ones that I've seen here in the United States tend to be all white with a yellow beak, and I think it's the same species that is listed on this coin. This one's going to be KM2. Next, we'll take a look at this coin from Hong Kong, back when George VI was the British monarch and Hong Kong was under the rule of the British. This one is a 5-cent coin from 1949. This one's going to be KM26. And one thing to look for on these Hong Kong coins is the security reading. So it's almost like an Oreo cookie of edge here, where you've got two outer layers which are just reeded, but then you have a middle security layer which one spot has a gap most of the way through. It just has these little dots that run through it. There is a rare variation of that coin where they forgot to put the security reading on it. That happened to several Hong Kong coins over a couple of different times. Next, we're going to pick up this coin from East Germany, where they use the Pfennig just like the rest of Germany. This one has a date of 1960A with an A mint mark for Berlin at the very top. And this compass symbolism, it was common to all of the East Germany coins of the time. This one is KM 9.1, and the 0.1 means that the 5 on this side was a little bit larger than the previous version. We're going to move to Switzerland, and I picked these up just pretty much because of the foreign exchange value. A 1 franc is worth more than a United States dollar, so a half franc is going to be worth more than a half a dollar. And since I paid 20 cents for this coin, I always like to pick these up. Not really sure how to cash them in, but it's a design that they've used for well over 100 years, even dating before 1900. This version is KM 23.3, and let me rephrase that, 23A.3. A means that it is copper nickel. This coin was from 1988, but it's been manufactured so long that it used to have silver in it. This is not the silver version. And then the 0.3 means that this side has 23 stars on it. So kind of like the United States flag has 50 stars, one for every state. Well, the Swiss coins have 23 stars for, I believe they're called cantons there. And so an older version in Switzerland, there were 22 cantons. We're going to move on to Mexico. This is one of the harder to find low denomination circulating coins, especially from the 80s. They only made this coin for a couple of years, but I really like it. From 1984, it's the 20 centavos coin. KM 491, and it honors the Olmec culture. Always like picking up that coin every time I find it. We're going to move to Paraguay with this coin here. Kind of well worn, but Republic of Paraguay. Has a date of, looks like 2007. A little bit of damage on this coin with that little spot that's on it. And see the name Gran Bernardina Caballero. Flip this one over, and it celebrates the Central Bank of Paraguay with a value of 500 guaranis. This is KM195A, which means this version of the coin is made out of nickel steel. Next we have this coin from Norway. It is a 1 krona coin from 1957. From a time where the king's monogram was this number 7. And I think that's the letter H on top of the 7, kind of around the 7. This one is KM397. If you found this in uncirculated condition, which is really difficult, this would have a book value of $25. Next we have a coin with an ostrich. Pretty well worn, but the value here under the legs of the ostrich, it says 20, and the denomination's on the left, centi, so 20 centi. Kind of fun to say. This coin's going to be from Tanzania. From 1966. KM number 2, and it's made out of nickel brass. We're going to move to another coin from Norway. This one has, the monarch is Harald V. And this one might have a little tape residue or something at the very bottom here, but this is a 10 kroner coin. And most of what you see on the back here look like shingles of a roof. And this is supposed to be a stylized representation of a church top. I guess you have like the little cross on the front of the church and the rest of the building kind of behind it. This is a 10 kroner coin from 1996. Going to be KM457. And Norway is one of those countries where we don't think about what the exchange rate is going to be between United States money and their country, but this 10 kroner coin actually has a foreign exchange value of 94 cents. So worth picking it up for that, I think. The last coin that I got out of this 5 for $1 bin, this coin right here. Let me flip it over first. I think it's the best coin, but you can see why it was put in a bin such as this. It's got all these nicks or pits in it that have kind of made it discolored. If you hold it like this, you can kind of see it better. This is Albert, King of Belgium. And when we flip it over, value is 5 francs. This was made in 1931. And one thing I found interesting at the time, they tried to come up with a new denomination called, well, I don't know how new it was at this time, but they had a denomination which they used back then called a belga. So 5 francs was equal to 1 belga, or une belga, at the very top there. So this one has your typical coin alignment where you flip it like this and the side is up to keep this side up. This is KM97.1. There is a version where it is the metal alignment where you would flip it like this for it to stay up. That would be 97.2, but this one's 97.1. So if you remember that most Belgium coins have two different versions of each coin for the two different languages that are spoken there. So this one on the right says Des Belges. The other side, where it says francs with a CS, would have actually replaced the CS with the letter K, so it'd be 5 franc for the other language. And then, what we call one, they call un, but on the other version, it would be een, E-E-N. And so that one has a completely different KM number, probably 98. So instead of making a really short video right here, the next video, if we looked at all these carded coins, we've got 35 carded coins here. There's some really good stuff in here. I'm just going to go ahead and have us start going through some of the low value ones because I picked up a lot of coins that were priced cheaper than the 5 for $1 bin. We're probably going to look at several coins here that are all priced at 10 cents. We're going to start in Argentina. And so he has labeled all these coins. I like that, except for his handwriting is worse than mine. So in some cases, I might change my handwriting, scratch everything out, and write it myself. Or if it's really bad, I might just take it out of the flip and put it in a new flip. But this one is from 1987, 10 centavos. In the 80s, they went through several different currency reforms. As you can see, KM8. And this is during the days when they used the currency called the Austral. The Austral has it's kind of like our letter A with two horizontal lines going through it. So it was 10 centavos of an Austral from 1987. That one's KM98. This next one features, this building appears on a couple of their different coins. This is the province of Tucumán's Capitol building. They're in Argentina. So 1993, 50 centavos. This is newer than the Austral, I believe. KM 111.2. There you have the 50 centavos of 1993. At the time, they were using the peso instead of the Austral. Our third coin in a row from Argentina, 1971. I didn't know if that was a 9 or a 4. It turns out it's a 7. It's a 10 centavos coin. This one is almost certainly an upgrade to my collection. He labels it as almost uncirculated 55. I'm not that much of a grader. KM66. There's our date of 1971. And then one more from Argentina. Got another animal on it. This one is going to be a wildcat. 1988, 5 centavos. AU50 is his grade, although it does have some spots on it, which I think detract from it. But KM 97.2. 5 centavos, another from the Austral days of Argentina. And so the 0.2 means that was the thin version of the coin. Going to move on to a coin from Belize, 1987, 5 cents. This is going to be a coin of aluminum, but this one's in pretty good shape. KM34A. I don't know why he wrote upgrade on it, but I bought it because I thought this might be an upgrade to the one in my collection. It is an MS60 according to him, and that might be pretty accurate. We've got here's Here's where it just says 5 cents. This does seem to be about the same size as a United States 5-cent nickel coin. Okay, I'm 34A, and the A is means that it's aluminum. There is an older version that is made out of nickel brass. Next coin is going to be from Bolivia. Now, this is a country that in about a decade ago changed their name to the Estado Plurinacional de Bolivia. So the plurinacional part is different. So coins made about that time, newer than that's going to have a different label on them. This one is a 10 centavos from 2010, so it's been over a decade since they made that change. KM 214. Flip this one over, and it is 10 centavos. Next 10-cent coin is going to be from Botswana, where they've got their shield on it, and I guess some kind of cattle gears at the top. Their currency at the time is called the pula, and that's the word on the banner that's above the date of 1977. But this coin is 10 Thebe, KM number 5. There we go with the Thebe. This is it. The animal here is called a South African oryx. Next country is Bulgaria. So when they were aligned with the Soviets or so, a lot of the countries had a design similar to this one, where it had the banner at the top, the banner at the bottom, a star at the top, and kind of a wreath of wheat or so, kind of outlining the lion that's in the middle. So 1974, two Statinki, KM number 85. Not sure why he says up on here, unless he couldn't read the Cyrillic and was just telling him that this side is up. There are a couple of dates on here. 1944, I believe, is when Bulgaria became a modern country. And then on this side, we have the year, I think it's the year 681, might be the first time that any Bulgaria ever existed. Maybe. Not sure on that. But that date does appear on a lot of the Bulgarian coins when they were aligned with the communist. Here is the two Statinkis, 1974. And then now, fast forward a few years, they are a republic. So we still have the name Bulgaria across the top. And a lot of their coins, which were made in 1999, at least all of the lower denomination ones, all have the same side to them, featuring a Madeira horseman. This one is the 10 Statinki, and all of these coins with the Madeira horseman were all from 1999. There we've got the 10 Statinki. Then we've got this coin from Ceylon, which is, if you're not familiar, that is today called Sri Lanka. This one is 1963, 1 cent. KM 127. It's another aluminum coin. Has the 1, large number 1, and then tiny letters in our alphabet. It does have the word cent there at the very bottom above the date of 1963. And then we're going to move on to Fiji. 1995. C must be the assumed mint mark on here, 5 cents. KM number 77. This is a 1-year FAO coin. So here's the FAO logo. I've seen several FAO coins about talking about growing more food. This one actually has the FAO logo stamped on it. We zoom in to that one. Trying to hold that still so we can get a good look. And then just overall harvest from the sea with the fish. So usually the 5-cent coin from Fiji, I think, has a what would be the Fiji native equivalent of a coin purse. I think has some kind of bag with a rope around it. It normally appears on their 5-cent coin, but this is the FAO version, which I'd never seen before. And I got it for 10 cents because it has that large corroded spot on the side. And then let's see, a couple more. We'll get to this one from the Republic of Chile, 1976, 10 centavos. Another one that is probably an upgrade in my collection because he labels this as MS60. Has the Santiago Mint right here above my thumb. It's an S with a tiny little O on top of it. KM205A. Here you have the 10 centavos. And then our final coin in this video is going to be from El Salvador. 1 centavo from 1977. So maybe up means upgrade because I don't think he'd have trouble figuring out which side is up on this one, but it is, he calls it again, uncirculated MS60, KM 135.2. I don't care so much about the grade, but I figured it was probably better than the one that I had. There you go, 1 centavo written on this side. This one is, so 135.2. The 0.2 means it's made out of brass. The earlier version of this coin was made out of bronze, and the earlier version had a smaller portrait. On this one, you can see that the top of his hair almost reaches the letter D in day there at the very top. And so a slightly enlarged portrait on what is quite a tiny coin to begin with. All right, so those are a bunch of 5 for $1 or cheaper coins that we looked at in this video. And so the next video, we're going to go through the rest of this pile. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.